Call to order the Board of Health meeting for the 3rd of September. Pushed us a little too far forward. First thing on our agenda is the approval of minutes from the last meeting. I don't know if anybody had a chance to review them from August 13th and had any comments or changes.
I didn't see anything, Rich.
Same here.
Okay. Perfect. And I guess I reviewed them, looks pretty straightforward, so I have no problem accepting as written if we want to propose a motion.
Okay, I'll make a motion and read to the Board of Health meeting from the August 13, 2024 meeting. The Board of Health approved the minutes as written.
Motion been made. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Perfect. And then we'll vote to approve. Start with Stefan,
Aye.
Mona,
Aye.
and myself. I will also approve minutes, so they have been approved as written. Right, next. I'm sorry, Mona, was there any comments?
I'm sorry, I lost you guys for the past.
Do we want to,
I think there might be like a delay.
okay. We'll see if she comes back on. Meantime, we can pull up the site plan approval special permit for the Jiten Hotel. Mona, can you hear us again?
Yeah, I can see. Can you hear me?
We can hear you, yes.
Okay, all right. I'm not sure if,
All right.
okay, so, okay.
All right, I'll go ahead and share my screen.
Can you not hear us, Mona?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, so this is
Okay, perfect.
this is a new site plan approval we haven't seen before, and special permit. So this is at an existing hotel. It's the Home to Suites, down over near as you get to the Foxborough line. And they're proposing the construction of a hotel, an additional hotel on the property with associated parking, stormwater, utilities, lighting, and landscaping. The existing site is used currently for Gillette Stadium event parking. It's just kind of a gravel grass area. And they are proposing a 4-story hotel with 119 rooms. The proposed plan did include sidewalks along with lighting in the parking lot. The health department recommends that both trash and recycling is provided in accordance with the waste ban, as well as reminding the applicant that the plan review applications would be required for any proposed food operation or pool. I did speak to the building commissioner. A pool is not proposed at this time. However, a normal continental breakfast food operation is, so they would need to do a food plan review for that. The project will utilize both town water and town sewer. So here is the existing hotel, located on Route 1. So you can see they're proposing it off to the right, and it's going to be pretty similarly sized hotel with additional parking. It's a little faded when I scanned it in, but the yellow dots here are lighting in the parking lot. I did the pedestrian sidewalks in orange here. There's their dumpster enclosure over here in green.
So it's basically the same owners, Megan? The same
Yes,
home, an additional building?
that's correct.
Okay.
Okay, anybody have any other questions?
No, I mean, any health department concerns, like any abutting wetland areas, anything at all?
No, not that were noted on this plan as far as conservation land.
Okay, thank you.
So it's really
Can I ask a question?
Oh, please.
Sorry, is it going to be connected to town sewer or do they have their own septic?
Town sewer and town water.
Thank you.
Okay. And we did mention that the pool and food would obviously require separate permits that
Yes.
they would have to initiate. Any other questions, comments, or anybody want to make a motion regarding the proposed site plan?
I can make a motion in regards to the Jiten Hotel Route 1 site plan approval. The Board of Health has no concerns at this time, but recommends that both trash and recycling be provided in accordance with the Massachusetts waste ban. In addition, the health department would like to remind the applicant that plan review applications would be required for any proposed food operation or pool, but you said they're not going to have a pool, but you know, just in case maybe they change their mind in the future, so I would include it anyway.
Very good. Motion been made. Do we hear a second?
I'll second that.
Great. And we will, motion made and seconded. We'll vote. Mona?
Aye.
Stefan?
Aye.
I also. Motion has been made and approved. No comments or concerns from the board. How about the next one? Revised site plan approval, special permit for GW Hilltop.
Yep. So we saw
Looks like
this
this is
one.
the auto storage building again, huh?
Yep. Yep. So it's a luxury vehicle storage facility with office space along with paved parking areas, stormwater management, utility service connections, landscaping improvements. It's going to utilize town water, and it will have an on-site sewage disposal system. I did conduct soil testing with Crossman Engineering back in September. The revised plan includes some minor labeling changes, as well as they did confirm that hazardous material will be stored on site. The board last saw this project at the June 4th meeting where they voted unanimously. I have no concerns at this time, but wanted to remind the applicant that a septic construction application with the health department is required, along with abiding by the state waste regulations, and in addition, filing with the appropriate toxic and hazardous waste permits. And then here's the plan. So you can see here's going to be the building. I did the the pedestrian sidewalks in pink here. Their dumpster enclosure. You can see they're proposing like the septic field over here.
So we went over this plan already twice, right, Megan?
I believe it was twice, yep.
And nothing new that's come through on this one that concerns the board.
No, it was very minor changes, nothing for pertinent to our department.
Perfect. All right, anybody have any comments, questions? If not, we'll entertain a motion.
I can do the motion. Just to confirm, there's nothing new. I'm just going to reiterate all of our previous comments. Is that correct? I don't see anything new.
Yeah, nothing new for our jurisdiction.
Okay, so I'll make a motion in regards to GW Hilltop, the revised site plan approval and special permit. The board would like to reiterate the comments from our 2024 meeting, and has no further comment.
Motion been made. Do we hear a second?
I'll second that.
Perfect. All right. Motion made and seconded. Any other comments? Then we'll vote.
Okay. Aye.
And sorry, and Mona, yeah, we're good.
Uh,
And then it's like a bit of delay, huh? So we've got a Mona and a Stefan both Support?
Aye. Yeah, I think we're a little late on your end, Rich.
My apologies, everybody. All right, so then I also, so we'll make it a passing 3-0-0. And we'll muddle through the next one. So we have the next is the 130 West Street and 25 Spring Street revised site plan approval.
Yep, so we saw this one a couple months ago. So it includes the demolition of the existing buildings along with the construction of a mixed-use commercial development with residential units on upper floors, coupled with driveways, parking spaces, stormwater management, and landscaping. It's going to create 95 residential units as well as some commercial space on the ground floor and second floor. The proposed plan does include lighting, sidewalks, as well as an area for bike storage. It's going to utilize town water and town sewer. The Board of Health saw this project at the March 19th meeting and voted unanimously that they recommend that both trash and recycling containers be provided in accordance with the waste ban, as well as noting that the applicant, that they would like the applicant to be mindful of public safety due to a highly populated area, as well as working with engineering department and the police department to ensure safety measures are taking place. So the revised plan does include modifications to the building and parking lot layout in response to a traffic control study that was done by Bowman Consulting Group. And then as well as some changes to like drainage plan and sewer connection plan as well in response to comments from those respective commissions. So you can see here, so this is showing the commercial space and there will be upper floors of residential units. Their dumpster enclosure here. It's very hard to see when I scan it in, but the pink over here and the pedestrian sidewalks around the development. Their bike spot right here. And it doesn't show it in this plan, but it did in a separate lighting plan, but they do have lights throughout this parking lot as well.
Great, thank you very much. Any questions, comments? Then we will entertain a motion regarding 130 West Street, 25 Spring Street.
I can make a motion in regards to the 130 West Street and 25 Spring Street for the revised site plan approval. The Board of Health is pleased that the revised plan is including modifications in response to a traffic control study and changes in response to comments from the CONCOM and the Water and Sewer Commission. And also would like to reiterate comments from the March 19, 2024 meeting. And I guess there are no specific concerns at this time.
Motion been made. Do we hear a second?
I'll second.
And motion made and second. Any further comments? All right, then we will take a vote on the motion as passed. Mona?
Aye.
Stefan? And I also, so 3-0-0. All right. How about correspondence? Upcoming flu clinics. We have fall 2024. Again, we're already in flu season.
We have our traditional upcoming flu clinics with a little bit of a change. So we do have our staff employee vaccination clinic. So Trish is going to hold 3 clinics at the whole town hall building the week of September 16th. So she's able to provide some staggered hours to kind of accommodate those with different work schedules. And then we will also hold our annual senior clinic, which is for those 60 and older, and that's at the Council on Aging on October 7th. And that's one that we do in collaboration with the Council on Aging. They also have their health fair. So following tonight's meeting, some of you may have already received, Trish sent an email out on Friday to our Medical Reserve Corps volunteers asking for volunteer help. I will follow up and just forward her email after our call tonight. And then as for our large public clinic that we usually have, As you might know, we typically have it the first Saturday in October. So this year for Walpole is the 300th year, and they're actually going to be doing a parade on that date. So on October 5th, there'll be the 300th day parade. So I'm attending a meeting tomorrow with the 300th committee to see kind of what we can do, because Trish and I, it's kind of like planning a wedding, the flu clinic. We don't want to plan this large scale event and then have everyone be at the 300th parade event. And then also we do rely heavily on our MRC volunteers, and a lot of our volunteers, like most volunteers, volunteer in different organizations that potentially could be involved with this parade. So it's not to say that we won't have a clinic. We're just trying to pivot and see what the best way is to have a clinic. One idea is to potentially, if there is kind of a gathering at the end of the parade, have some tents available with, volunteers, health department staff, and the vaccine. So then that way, if individuals wanted to get vaccinated, they could. Another option is we have that great space over at Old Town Hall. So potentially for consecutive days and weeks, Trish could have open hours where people could pre-register and get the vaccine. So we have vaccine on order. It will be arriving shortly. So it's not an issue of not having the vaccine, but it's just an issue of making sure that we create a worthwhile event for individuals to come, because we know that it's a lot of work for health department staff as well as all of our volunteers. And we want to make sure it's a date that people can actually come out and take advantage of. So that's the update for the flu clinic. Like I said, after this meeting tonight, I'll send the link for the senior clinic. If you are able to volunteer, we appreciate all of our volunteers. That's normally a packed house. Typically, we get a couple hundred individuals coming in for it. And so I'll send that to you, and then I will keep the board up to date regarding our other vaccine opportunities. But if anyone has any questions, feel free to ask.
Thank you very much. Any questions for anybody?
So the first clinic is going to be Monday, September 16, Melissa?
So for the employee clinics, we actually have them Tuesday the 17th, Thursday the 19th, and Friday the 20th. So I'm not sure, depending on what we get for people signing up. I know in the past, sometimes we haven't deployed our MRC volunteers, depending on how many people we have coming to the event. So I would say keep your eyes open, Mona, and Trish will send out based off of those signing up how many volunteers we would need. She hasn't sent anything out thus far for that clinic. She's only sent out information for the senior clinic.
Okay, great. Thank you, Melissa.
Thank you.
Very good. Awesome. Any other questions? Perfect. Next, Public Health Excellence Grant.
Yes, so
Excited to
this
hear about
is something that we've had in the past. So we were awarded the grant back in 2021. So to this date, we were able to hire a regional health inspector. This is with NC8. So it's actually, it's called NC8. There's 8 communities a part of NC8. However, Needham, who is a part of NC8, is not a part of this shared service grant. So technically it's 7 communities that are a part of this. So with the 7 communities, we were able to hire a regional inspector as well as a regional epidemiologist. So this is something that's going on throughout the Commonwealth. So they have about 90% participation of the 351 cities and towns in the Commonwealth. So it's a great thing. The downfall is unfortunately, I feel like we sometimes are losing the people that are applying for the positions because other collaborations are also hiring these positions. And then you're also fighting with the local departments as well, because the local departments don't want to lose their health inspectors and their public health nurses. So it's definitely a great idea. We're kind of ironing out the kinks. We do right now have an epidemiologist. Unfortunately, our regional inspector just gave her notice, but now the change in this IMA would be that we are now, we have funding to hire a public health nurse. So again, this wouldn't take over the work that myself, Megan, Jen, and Trish do. It would just kind of add to that. So with communicable disease surveillance, things along that line, epidemiologists would do, say we have vaccine clinics, taking in that data and just really illustrating the work that we're doing. Things that potentially our Department of 4 just don't have the resources resources to do. The thing is, each of the 7 communities are made up differently. So some have a larger staff, some have a smaller staff. So everyone is kind of tapping into these resources a little bit differently. But overall, the idea is for standardization amongst the 351 cities and towns across the board to really optimize the public health services that we're giving to our community. So the change in the IMA, it's a very small change, but it's just to add the position of the public health nurse. So currently the regional inspector as well as the epidemiologist, they're actually housed in the Norwood Health Department. So in that group, that Norwood Health Department is the fiscal agent. In this case, it is Dedham that will be the fiscal agent for the nurse. So the nurse would actually sit in the Dedham Health Department and be paid directly through the grant through Dedham. So through Walpole, there would be no any fiscal responsibilities or anything like that at all. We would just obviously be working directly with this individual as needed for our needs strictly to Walpole.
Good. Anything traditionally in the past caused issue with the resource being pulled in different directions and not really getting what we need from it?
No, so I think that's something like it in the beginning, it was an adjustment because each of these shared service agreements, some have, 4 or 5 communities. We have 7. So it's like there's not even 7 days in the work week. So it's like at first it was like, how do we even this out where, you can't say you're in Walpole one day, Wellesley the next day, but we have an actual system that we have online that you actually put your requests in. So I think that was something just up front. We were very inexperienced with what we were doing with that. But now I think it just, again, the lines of communications are open. So it hasn't been an issue at all. And it's actually worked in our favor where if one community says, oh, I would like you to do as an epidemiologist, outreach for vector-borne illnesses or to see how our EEE levels are. And then, someone says, oh, well, I think that would be great for Walpole too. Or I think so it's great collaborating because some of the items that we're working towards are applicable to all the 7 communities and some might just be, for 1 or 2 communities, but it's great to work together.
Great. That's awesome. Congratulations, part of that again.
Thank you all.
Good news.
All right. Anything else that the board has to discuss or anything new from anybody?
That's all I have, just as a little trash talk. So trash is delayed 1 day. So I don't know if anyone is affected by it today or the days to come, but trash and recycling is 1 day delay. So no collection yesterday. So 1 day delay moving forward.
Had to be nervous there for a second.
Yeah. Have you not mailed the cards? Because I think I only had the card that's ending in June 2024. Have you not mailed those? Because I know
you should have received it. We definitely can mail you one. So how those work is in probably the 2nd or 3rd week of June, the recycling calendars are mailed out to everyone. They are mailed through the post office though. So it's like those mass mailers that you get in the mail. So it's on that list. So I don't necessarily know why you wouldn't receive it. But if that were to occur, if anyone's listening to the call right now, if you don't receive it, you can definitely reach out to our office and we can mail you one. And then we also do put it on our Town of Walpole website as well. So you have a copy of it.
Great. Okay, great. Thank you, Melissa.
No problem.
Good. Thank you. Anything else from anybody?
I think that's it. Our next meeting, we're scheduled for Tuesday, September 17th, if that still works for everyone.
That should work for me. Anything? Anybody else? Any concerns?
That's fine.
Works for me.
All right. Well, great. Then we'll do it again. Still do a Zoom. Seems like that's working out the best for us, flexibility wise. And then we will make a motion to adjourn. Do we hear a second?
I'll say
Perfect. Then we'll vote to adjourn. Mona?
aye.
Stefan?
Aye.
And I also. Thank you, everybody. 7:56. We'll call the Board of Health meeting to a close. See everybody in a few.
Thank you.
Everyone, take care. Have a good